All right, guys, we are here outside of OPD headquarters where protesters are gathering. This is the second night of protests after Kenneth Jones was fatally shot on Thursday night by OPD officers. And as you can see, protesters are starting to march in the street. This was kind of the catalyst last night whenever police declared it an unlawful assembly and began arresting people. There was only 2 people who were arrested and charged last night and 3 citations given. But as you can see, we're marching down to the old market. I'm making sure to stay on the sidewalk so that I don't get in any trouble and so that I can keep you guys up to date on what's going on here. And I don't know if you guys can hear them chanting. They're saying, "Whose streets? Our streets." We've heard a lot of chanting tonight. Not as much as we've heard in past protests, but quite a few, really general chants that we hear at these Black Lives Matter protests. So far, I have not witnessed any violence. I haven't seen anyone throwing any eggs like allegedly happened last night. I've seen people being very cautious of staying on the other side of the police tape. But as you can see, now they're deciding that they're going to walk in the streets. Now they're saying, "Say his name," Kenneth Jones, who again is the 35-year-old black man who was fatally shot on Thursday night during a traffic stop. And from my knowledge, he was not the driver during that traffic stop, but was a passenger. I'm gonna go across the street. And hopefully you guys can hear me. I do have a mask on, and I usually have a mic on when I do these, but we're going a little on the fly here today.
I'm sure I'll see you again.
Whew. The protest began around 6 o'clock. It really started picking up, honestly, within the last hour. It was very quiet before that. I didn't see very many people chanting. People really didn't have their signs up too much. They were kind of just standing outside OPD headquarters, making their presence known. But as you can see, it's kind of escalated a little bit here. What they're wanting, at least what I've seen on Pro Black, which is the organization that organized this event tonight, they're saying that they want the tapes from the body camera of the officers who were involved in that fatal shooting to be released to the public. Now, a few days ago, Mayor Stothert did say that that isn't up to OPD, that they don't have the ability to do that, that there is a grand jury investigation that will be happening. And so those tapes are kind of up for the grand jury to be looking at. We did get the names of the officers who were involved in that shooting earlier today. You can see that on our website, 3newsnow.com. Now, whenever I got here, it was whenever they first released the names of those officers, and the protesters here were very upset, saying that the police were saying that their stories collaborated with the footage, but the community should be the one to decide if that footage is truthful or not. We're gonna, again, sorry guys that we don't got a great view. I'm trying to stay on the sidewalk. Just keep myself in the legal bounds here. There's people inside some of these restaurants that are obviously hearing these very loud chants that are going on outside. Definitely getting the attention of patrons in these old market restaurants and businesses. And again, I guess I should have said this at the top. We are live. So obviously there may be some language. So if that's something that bothers you, then just be aware of that, please. All right. The people want to know. I'm seeing some lights in the background. Looks like we might have some officers responding to this. Like I said last night, this was kind of the catalyst for whenever officers started arresting people. It's often been the catalyst is whenever protesters start entering the street and blocking traffic. So when they start getting a little bit more upset and feel the need to respond at that point. I've seen some people talk about, social distancing and COVID and things of that nature. I will remind you, we are hitting all-time records almost every day here in Nebraska and Douglas County for COVID numbers. That being said, I know they're not social distancing, but most people here that I've seen are wearing masks.
What? Time to have a little fun.
I'm not really sure what it's saying at this point. Can't quite make it out. See, there are some cars that are stopped in the middle of the road, not able to make their way through the street. This gentleman is wanting to get out, maybe, or cheering along. I'm not quite sure. Can't really tell at this point. Again, if you guys are wanting to find out more background information on this case, I'm only able to give what I can remember off the top of my head, and I don't want to missay anything, but we do have information on our website, 3newsnow.com, on the fatal shooting of Kenneth Jones, which happened on Thursday. I'm not exactly sure who the person is that's leading this march. He's been on the loudspeaker quite a bit with masks on and hats on. It's a little hard to tell who's who out here. I'll try to keep going live for you guys as long as I can. It's a little cold out here, so that does tend to kill my battery a little bit quicker. But I'll try to keep you up to date as much as possible.
Stay over here, they up front.
Fun.
Get your camera out.
Now we're turning back towards OPD headquarters. As you can see, the police seem to be blocking off the streets ahead, preventing traffic from coming in. Which usually means there's going to be some kind of response, but we will wait and see. And this building right here appears to have some boards over it. I don't know if those are from some of the summer protests, if this has been boarded up for a while. I know during some of the summer protests, some businesses in the old market did put up boards to protect their businesses in fear of windows being broken or looting happening. You could see a little bit of that over the summer, not as much as other cities, of course, but it wasn't 0%. These are the officers that have been out here standing guard in front of the Omaha Police Headquarters all night. They've talked a little bit with protesters, basically just telling them to stay back, but not responding to too much of the taunting that's been going on. Saying that there's a bit of a show up here of the Omaha Police Department. I'm not sure what this is. It looks like it could be body cam footage. It's a little hard to make out though. They are projecting that up on this building from this sidewalk over here. Take a few steps back. And again, sorry Sorry for any language. It is live. Alright, let's look at a little bit of the signs here. We got some saying release of footage, obviously a lot saying Kenneth Jones. Big part of Black Lives Matter movements is remembering the names of those who have died. As you can see, there's a few, I assume, old signs from old protests, maybe just general Black Lives Matter protests here. Again, sorry if there's any language. I will note that last night the people who were arrested were not from Omaha. I know there's a group from Lincoln that comes up. I talked to a young lady who was arrested last night who is part of a Lincoln activist group. But again, no one who was arrested or cited last night was actually from Omaha. We did have someone from Carter Lake, which is pretty close.
I'm here to tell them I ain't give a fuck yesterday either.
Sorry if I'm narrating too much, guys. I'm just trying to give you context for what's going on, but I'll be quiet now.
Hey, y'all. So, last night was a pretty traumatic night for anybody that experienced the brutality and anybody that witnessed the brutality. So I want to start off by saying self-care is important. If you were traumatized by last night's event, please find a version of self-care that works for you. Take long baths, talk to your mom, call your best friend, sit down and cry in the shower. Whatever it is that is your version of self-care, please make sure you're doing that. Because trauma is for real, and it will affect you for a lifetime.
My mom doesn't. My mom doesn't.
So what I wrote is called Just Intelligence.
Sorry, guys. I'm plugging in my phone, get a little extra charge here. See if that keeps us going a little bit longer.
Your authority combats my minority demanding quick compliance. Your body-armored body quivers from the adrenaline and fear coursing rapid rivers of warning. My body vibrates on ancestral planes. War drums of blood pound in my ears. Copper tears lace my lips. On the bones beneath me I prepare to rise. Your voice on my skin, my voice on your baton, and it begins. My space invaded by your hand. Your hand is ghost hand. See, for me, when your hands hit my flesh, an explosion of images plunges my brain. Your hands become his hand, and his hand becomes your hand, followed by her hand, then their hand. No, his hand, it's her hand, no, their hand. Stop. Breathe. But I can't breathe. You're on me, pushing me down like he did, telling me to comply like they did, twisting my arm so far, my shoulder pump, body detaching from body, like discarded doll parts, slamming me into the ground, demanding docility, while dignity dies at your hands. In this moment, head knocking on concrete, unlike the cops that you touched. White flash, dot, 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 flashback, dot, dot, dot. Because for me, long after my wrists heal, my concussion subsides, my body holds itself and heals its outside wounds, my mind will replay this night. My brain will bestow toxic blessings of images of you. Temporary, terrifying templates of time when the finality of a moment gains its gravity. This is my PTSD and poetry, my haunted history being built very eyes. I choose to honor my ancestors by breathing my life into a burning movement. I pay tribute to my trauma by speaking truths from dark places, because see, we are a society of silence, and the only way to cure that is to speak up and speak out. I have realized over this time that I am beautifully broken because it allows me the ability to find the cracks in other areas. My PTSD haunts me daily, but thank you for your contribution.
Alright, I'm gonna work my way over back to the sidewalk. A little bit out in the street here. The crowd is overflowing a bit here. I know you guys told me to be quiet earlier, but do you have any questions while we're here? If you guys have any questions, just drop them in the chat and I'll try to answer them to the best of my abilities. As you can see, there is some tape here. One young lady that I talked to last night was arrested with police saying that she had torn down the tape. She claims that police instigated the altercation that occurred. She has been charged. I think she may have left though. I think I heard her saying that she wasn't wanting to be arrested again tonight, so she left the area, but she may have come back by now.
We will not be silent! We will not be silent! We will not be silent! We will not be silent!
The officers who were involved in the fatal shooting, my apologies. The officers who were involved in that fatal shooting were interviewed. They are on paid suspension last time I checked. There is going to be a grand jury investigation into the incident according to Mayor Stothert. That was a few days ago that she said that though. We do know the names of those officers. Those have been released. I'm not going to say them because I'm going to butcher them, but you can, again, find them on 3newsnow.com. Like I said, I'll answer any questions you guys had. Obviously, I'm not going to take a side in this. If you ask a question that's kind of leading to that, I will not be answering those. But any factual questions you have about what's going on, about what I'm seeing, I am certainly willing to answer those. I see some people saying that they need to be following the mask mandates. The majority of people I see here are wearing masks, though some have it below their nose, some of it have below their mouths, but almost everyone here does have a mask. How large is the protest? I'm really bad at this. If you guys followed me on the summer protest, you know I'm horrible at counting how many people. There's over 100 though. Not as many as we saw in the summer. I think the cold is kind of keeping people away, so I'd say maybe like 150. But then again, I'm very bad at this. I will admit that. I don't think there's been an announced time that protesters have to stop. Last night, police intervened whenever it was declared an unlawful assembly, and according to the report that they sent out today, that was whenever people were tearing down the tape that you see and marching in the streets. And if you were here for a while, you do know that we did have this group marching in the streets around the Old Market not too long ago. They were blocking traffic. Although I did not see anyone messing with cars, nothing with buildings, just marching in the street. Again, blocking traffic though. Trying to read your guys' questions as they come in. Sorry if my finger gets in the way. Yeah, again, I don't think there's a curfew that I've heard of. Usually with OPD, what happens if it's declared an unlawful assembly, they'll send out a push alert, and everyone is kind of asked to leave the premises. They also put it on Twitter, send it out to news organizations, things like that, which I haven't seen those yet. I don't think there's a curfew at this time, guys. If they do declare this an unlawful assembly, which to my knowledge they have not yet, then everyone will be asked to leave pretty much immediately. Sometimes they give you a little window of opportunity to get back to your car. You know, there's quite a few people that are kind of egging on the police right now, taunting them. This gentleman has been speaking to the police quite a bit tonight. He was one of the first people to really kind of express his point of view directly at them. Most people were chanting at that time. Yeah, Jennifer, this is in front of Omaha Police Headquarters in Omaha, Nebraska. I know sometimes people view one from out of the city, but this is in front of the Omaha Police Headquarters. This woman is saying that she supports the police department and she is getting booed. I think it's a woman. I don't want to assume. Seems like a lot of people are directing their anger at this woman now. And it appears the police are talking to this person who shouted out in support, though they have not really interacted with any of the protesters too much. Ooh. Some of the street medics that do like to come out to these protests just to be able to provide people with any first aid should they need it, any cuts, any bruises, any dehydration. And oftentimes they bring milk for any tear gas that might come out. Now last night, like I said, they did declare it an unlawful assembly. Tear gas was not used according to the police, but pepper spray was used, and other crowd controlling methods, as they put it, which we're not quite sure what that is. Oh, see someone saying I should do an interview. I did do an interview with a young lady who was arrested last night. If you want to see that, that is on my Twitter page. If you go on, I think our Twitter page at 3 News Now Omaha, it should link to my account. I'm Jessica Edson. It's Jessica Edson TV, Jessica with a K, Edson EI. So if you want to see that, I know my parents didn't make it easy on me, but if you want to see that interview, that is available on Twitter. Alright, and it appears that they are getting some kind of equipment on this yellow gun here. I'm not quite sure what that is. If I had to guess, and obviously I'm not an expert, that is where the pepper balls come out, just from previous experience. I think that's what that is. But again, I'm not an expert, so. I'm going to find my partner out here just in case.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Don't shoot! 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 Hands up!
Oh, hey, there you are. So I'm live still. The yellow guns, I'm not sure, but I think that might be the pepper balls that they deploy. So like, just be prepared to back away if need be.
Yeah, they're yellow guns, you said?
Yeah, so if you see he has strapped behind him a yellow gun.
Okay.
I think from what I saw over the summer, I think those are pepper balls.
Okay.
Or BBs maybe.
Okay, cool. Thank
So
you.
just be aware of that. I was like,
come out
I'm
yet.
gonna stick by you
Yeah,
just in case we
okay.
gotta book it
Okay,
out of
yeah.
here.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
No problem.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
All right, another thing that I'm seeing, and I think it might be too far away for you guys to see, and maybe a little bit too dark. They do have the zip ties. I see one officer that has the zip ties attached to him, which is usually something that they utilize when they're trying to apprehend people very quickly in situations like that. We saw that a lot over the summer.
You don't even fucking care! But you scared as hell! Fuck y'all! Fuck y'all!
Someone is clearly very upset.
Okay, I'll find someone else. I'll find someone else.
Okay. Fuck you. Come grab me though if you can.
All of y'all are complicit in the murder of our brother Kenneth Jones. All of y'all are complicit pigs in the murder of our brother Kenneth Jones. All y'all bastards.
Nobody likes you! And if they do, it's a front. Believe that! Nobody fucking likes you! You're all pieces of shit!
So for some context, recently the Omaha Police Union did propose a contract to the city council that would give them a increase over, I think, a 5-year period, quite a bit of an increase there. And there was a lot of people who were very outspoken during that city council meeting against it. Handful that were for it, giving them more benefits, giving them a bit of a pay bump. Some other things that were addressed in that were transparency, saying that they would be making it easier for citizens to file complaints against officers, eliminating the in-person interview that was needed by allowing them to send a notarized letter with that complaint. Also, having citizens involved to a degree in a review board for like internal reprimands, I guess you could say, though I believe that person would be appointed by either the police board or the mayor. I think they're wanting us to do a live at 10. So, like, just depending on what happens and where we're at, we'll kind of just keep them up to date. We still have about an hour and 15 to get ready.
Okay.
You got a live pack, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm thinking, like, we'll try to just go across the street for audio and things like that. I can just kind of narrate what's going on. Obviously, if everything goes down and we need to, like, leave the area, we need to leave the area.
Right.
So.
Okay. Sounds good.
Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets!
I can't believe they let that happen.
Our streets! Our streets! Our streets!
Okay. Okay.
Crazy.
Sure.
Our streets! Our streets! Our streets!
I'm gonna check my battery percentage, see where we're at here. Just kidding, it won't let me, so. If I go off all of a sudden, all because my battery died. Lori, they are counting up to 12, which is a department in the police. I believe it's the narcotics department. Don't quote me on that, though. And they are basically saying that they don't like that. I'm not going to use the exact words there. It's a pretty popular chant at Black Lives Matter protests. A lot of people really have issues with those. Again, the people are wanting the footage of the incident which led to the death of Kenneth Jones. It was a fatal shooting during a traffic stop. 2 OPD officers were involved with that. We got their names a little bit earlier today. Those are on our website if you want to see a little bit more about those officers. They are wanting the footage, though, the body cam footage of that to be released. Now, Mayor Stothert did say a few days ago that that is not up for OPD to release. Yes, we are in Omaha. This crowd did grow in the past hour and a half. At first it was pretty slim, stayed pretty steady for a while. Looks like maybe there's a few people that have dropped off, but still quite a crowd here. Looks like there may have been someone that tried to hop over here. Not sure though. It looks like an officer was responding, maybe thinking the same thing, that she was getting a bit too close, but Do you guys have any questions why we're out here about background? I'll try to do my best to give you some background or anything about what's been going on tonight. Angie, you said why there was a 35-year-old black man that was shot during a traffic stop on Thursday. His name was Kenneth Jones. Like I said, he did die. 2 police officers with OPD were involved in that. That's kind of what sparked this protest. There's also a protest last night. This is the second night that we're seeing that. Julie, sorry, this is in downtown Omaha in front of the Omaha Police Department headquarters. We have some officers over here that are kind of standing on the sidelines watching things, keeping an eye on things. Majority of the officers who are being addressed are up front though here. As you can see, this gentleman does have a foot over the line. We'll see how officers respond to that. He's been saying throughout the night that he doesn't care if he gets arrested, that he wants to come over the line.
I wouldn't want to release. I'm just saying, bro. Let's get the video, man. Let's do a FOIA request and get the video. Come on. Release it. Release it, man. Release it. Hey, how about transparency?
Street.
Always film the police, guys. Just because the body cam is on, don't mean the public is always film them, never talk to them.
When to still snap it.
Pretty sure all the police is watching my live stream right now.
A lot of people yelling right now.
Take the tape down! How do you fucking feel? That's your report! Quit if you care!
Wilma, you can then go watch.
It looks like the tape has been torn down in one spot again. That was kind of one of the incidents that led to, Are you talking to me?
Oh,
I was like, girl. I was like, I'm with the local news.
see, the local news is here. Go watch that live feed if this is fake.
Yeah.
Calling shit fake?
Yeah.
Aw, dude.
It happens.
Every time.
I get it too. It's all right. Roll with the punch.
I gotta reply to
Yep. All right, so sorry, I got a little interrupted there. I got distracted. There is a part of the barrier, the tape barrier, that did get taken down. That was part of the incidents allegedly that led to police declaring it an unlawful assembly yesterday. There was one young lady that I talked to earlier today that she was arrested for allegedly tearing down the tape. She argues that the police were instigating the violence. I did an interview with her over on my Twitter page if you guys want to go look at that. My name is Jessica Edson. It's Jessica Edson TV. Hard to spell, but... All right. I'm gonna stay back over here so we can kind of get an eye of what's going on here. It looks like police are responding to something.
We lied about it though.
Really? I wasn't even here last night, but okay. Sure. All right, I guess we'll just go put ourselves a little bit closer to the situation then.
Tie it up right! We paid for that tape! Tie it up right!
All right, so police are responding kind of to the area where that was taken down a little bit earlier. I'm trying to see if it's still down, if they're putting it back up, kind of what the situation is here. Police are standing very close to protesters. Last night, eggs were allegedly thrown at officers. I haven't seen anything like that though tonight. Trying to give you guys a view. I don't want to get too close there and risk stepping over the property line myself and getting in trouble, so. We'll see there are some legal observers out here. ACLU tends to come out to these things, Civic Nebraska. I know there's one other group out here today that is doing some legal observations, just kind of seeing if anyone's rights are being violated, any of their First Amendment rights of assembly, free speech, things of that nature. It seems like those officers have backed away a little bit now. Let's see if we can get a little closer and see if that barrier's been put back up. Seems like the crowd's gathered here a bit, so I don't know if we're able to see that.
You got a higher power to answer to! Say something! Say something!
I do see one officer that appears to have a gas mask on. I don't think any of the other officers do, though. Like I said last night, they did use pepper spray, but not any tear gas, according to the police.
Say something!
I'm not sure what higher power she's referring to, if it's a religious higher power or just citizens, the mayor, I'm not really sure. And it looks like some of those barriers have been knocked down a little bit again here. So yeah, the police responded to that. Like I said last night, that was kind of one of the incidents allegedly that police said kind of pushed things into declaring this an unlawful assembly last night. Sim, do you have the time, by the way? I just want to make sure we're set up and ready to go.
It's 9 o'clock straight up.
9 o'clock. Okay, we got a minute. Oh, man. I've been out here since 6.
You what, since 6?
Yeah.
I don't know if they have an end time or it just goes until it explodes.
Until there's no, like, curfew that I know of.
I didn't think so.
Until, like, they declared an unloful assembly, pretty much. I don't know, is there, like, quiet hours or something that they could be violating? Yeah.
Until things start getting out of hand, I think it's when. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, when they told me I was coming down here, I was like, I'm just going to bring a phone just so I can leave quickly if need be. Right. So,
I'm just kind of shocked that they sent you by
I'm like just like a trauma response. Like I'm so apathetic to my life. I'm like, let's do it. Sure. Whatever. I don't mind it. It's like over the summer, I came down here with Tequila and like kept getting closer and closer. I ended up getting tear gas. That was great. And shot with pepper balls, but. This man is alleging that police are saying that they're loving the protest, I guess. I didn't hear anything, any kind of interactions between the police. Can't see, there's a couple of gentlemen over there across the way that have their foot over the line. The tape has been knocked down over here a bit. Wow, it got really quiet. Yeah, so we'll see how police respond to those. I know they've been trying to keep people outside of this barrier throughout the night. Like I said, this started around 6, so stayed pretty non-confrontational for quite a while, but it's kind of tending to get a little bit more confrontational. Nothing physical yet. Hopefully nothing physical at all tonight, but we did see that last night, so we'll see what happens. I'm not sure what my battery percentage is on. If I just kind of go off, that's why. Like I said earlier, it's cold out here. It tends to deplete your batteries a little bit quicker, but I'll try to keep going as long as possible. Hey, Sim. Do you want to call Alan or Danielle and see kind of what they're thinking, like precisely for 10 o'clock? Is it just a straight live? Do they want like VO over it? Or
so is Alan the producer?
Alan's the manager, but Danielle Davis is the producer.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I'll call them and see, because if they want like a VO on the money to start cutting.
That's what I was thinking. So like let's check in with them and see what they want to do.
Okay.
I'm fine with doing a straight live shot and talking through it, obviously, because I'm sure you don't want to like miss anything if anything happens.
Yeah,
but
totally.
yeah, so if you could just call them and see what's going on, make sure. So.
Okay, sounds good.
And see like what time we are in the show as well, so we don't.
I'm assuming right off the top, but
yeah,
I'll make sure.
This man is saying that members of OPD killed an unarmed black man, and that they are getting a paid vacation. We do have information on kind of the incident that led to Kenneth Jones's death. If you want to read up on that, kind of make your assumptions on that. The officers involved are on paid suspension right now as an investigation is being conducted. Awesome. Okay, you're fine. I was gonna say, if I just come up and like knock on the windows, just let me in. Yeah, guys, I've been out here since 6 o'clock, so I'm trying to be very precise with my words. If I do say something that kind of sounds a little off, it's partly because I'm very tired, and I apologize for that. Like I said, I'm trying to just explain what's going on to the best of my ability. There is information that OPD released about the fatal shooting on our website, though, if you want to read that. It's like more of the barrier has been torn down there.
Take their trifling ass home.
Yeah, Nathan, we do have other news on 3newsnow.com if you want to go and read some of that. We kind of talked a little about this incident, the leading incidents, and other things going on in the Omaha area. Thank you, Ryan. I very much appreciate it. Encouragement is needed. It's been a very long day. My arms are a bit tired from holding the phone. My fingers are more cold from just having my fingers exposed, though, but it's all right. I want to let you guys know what's going on here and keep you up to date. Oh, okay, and it appears the barrier that was in front of me has been knocked down now as well. So, gonna back up a little bit here. I don't think that was me. I hope not. Though the barriers are torn down, protesters do seem to be staying back to some degree. Like I said earlier, there are two gentlemen over here that have their foot over the line that was there on the steps. But other than that, they're staying back for the most part. What's happening? What'd she do?
Huh?
What'd she do?
She just basically said, I'm on public property and I'm going to come as far as I want. And I walked towards her.
Yeah.
She stepped back.
Oh, yeah.
Stepped back.
It's all just like kind of holding your breath out here, like waiting for...
I sort of feel like if they just went inside, everybody would kind of get bored, right?
That, yeah.
After a while. I mean, right? Like, most of these people have been here for like 3 hours already.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that they came down here during the summer, that protesters came here from 72nd and Dodge to like here in the summer. I'm not sure like how far they made it though to like that actual headquarters property. I got like trapped downtown somewhere, but they had a pretty long line of officers then, like armed with their quote unquote riot gear, if you will.
There's a lot more tension.
I think the cold is keeping quite a few people away though here, so we'll see.
Yeah, and the COVID.
Well, we had COVID over the summer.
It's way
but,
worse now.
Yeah, that's true. Someone is asking why no one was arrested at the Trump rallies. Some of you might know current President Donald Trump did come to Omaha about a week before the election. As far as I know, that was a pretty peaceful event. I know there were some counter-protesters that were nearby. Obviously, there were some issues with busing and things, which I think a lot of people saw, but no violence at the actual rally from what I saw, so. Sounds like some people are starting to leave. Some signs that are being left behind. There's a pretty big pile of signs right here. I think those are just kind of made up by a local group for people to grab as they come out here. Looks like the police have stepped up a little bit from my perspective over there, at least. Quite a bit of the line has been torn down now. I'm not sure what you mean by Biden protesters. Are you talking about the pro-Biden protesters that were at the Trump rally or near the Trump rally? I don't think that was a violent event either. I don't think there was any confrontation or anything that happened there that police got involved in, from what I saw at least.
We the public. It's our property. We the public.
People are getting a little bit closer.
My payroll, motherfucker. Y'all work for us.
Trying to keep up with your questions as they come in, guys. Like I said, I'm getting a little tired, but trying to keep you up to date on what's going on here. Said that was, oh gosh, I think assault of an officer or something along those lines. And then he also had 2 knives. They said he had weapons on him, concealed weapons. There's 3 citations, I think mainly for like obstructing an arrest, getting in the way. But like you can see, there's quite a congested crowd here. So, and to know all the people who were arrested or given citations last night were not from Omaha. Quite a few of them were from Lincoln. I know one was from Carter Lake. I think one was from a place called Friend, Missouri. Or not Friend, Missouri. Sorry, Nebraska. I'm going to back up a little bit. Alright. Oops. You guys don't want to see me, I'm sure. Alright. Alright, looks like protesters are getting closer to police. Police are getting closer to protesters, telling them they need to back up. The gentleman in orange has been saying that he's going to be crossing the line all night, said he doesn't care if he gets arrested. Sorry. The officer is telling him to get behind the tape. Like I said, the tape has been knocked down.
What the? Where's the footage? We want that tape.
Oh my God.
I'm going around the other side here. Mainly to get out of the line of fire, also to see what's going on a bit. I'm gonna just continue backing up just a little bit. Sorry, I'm a bit short, guys. Trying to get the best view for you I can. I think I said a little bit earlier, some of the officers have those yellow kind of guns, longer guns on them. I'm not sure exactly what those are for. I think they have pepper balls in them though, or BBs, rubber bullets of some kind, some way of dispersing crowds. And then they also have the zip ties, the clear zip ties, which they use to quickly apprehend people in large crowds like that. We saw this a lot over the summer. All right, this officer seems to be trying to fix the tape. It looks like more officers are arriving on scene. I'm gonna come a little bit over here, see what I can watch. Got some legal observers over here. Officers and protesters are face to face now, as officers are trying to reestablish that line of tape to keep protesters off of the Omaha Police Headquarters property. Like I said, more officers are arriving, so we're gonna back up. And there's a group of protesters out of the Omaha Police Department headquarters. They are protesting the death of a 35-year-old black man who was fatally shot in a traffic stop on Thursday. These protesters are asking that the body cam footage that the two officers who were involved in the shooting be released to the public. The mayor of Omaha did say a few days ago that that is not up for the Omaha Police Department to do, that another entity is in charge of whether or not that will be released. Alright, adding quite a few officers here. I'm going to find my partner here. So I'll try to keep the live stream going so you guys can see what's going on.
I noticed that. Yeah. I noticed that.
There's a pretty, I mean, there's a large-ish crowd, but it's relatively small compared to what we saw over the summer. Over the summer at 72nd Dodge, we saw hundreds, maybe even thousands of people gathering at that location. Now, could be COVID numbers, could be cold, keeping people back a little bit here.
Oh, here comes the bullhorn.
All right. To my knowledge, this has not been declared an unlawful assembly yet, but there is a gentleman approaching with a bullhorn from the police officers.
Protest on the sidewalk. Do not go on the street.
The officer is is saying that they are allowed to peacefully protest on the sidewalk, but they cannot go in the street. Saying you cannot go on the street. Be arrested if they're going into the street. Didn't say anything that I could hear about going on to the Omaha Police Department headquarters property. So, which is what not a lot of protesters, 2 or 3 protesters have been stepping a foot over the line that officers created. Again, trying to be very careful with my words and very precise with my reporting here, but just bear with me and feel free to ask me any questions if something doesn't seem quite clear to you. This officer, who is a white gentleman, is having a conversation with these black women who are kind of having a conversation about race, which has been at the center of a lot of these protests, a bit at the center of this protest here tonight. He's saying that the officer who is behind him, who is a black gentleman, is being treated badly as well. A lot of really high emotions going on tonight. This is the first officer I've seen to really be interacting and kind of having a conversation to a degree with protesters. Most of it has just been orders telling protesters where they need to stand, that they can't go out in the street. We did see protesters go out and march around the old market area here in Omaha a while ago. Not quite sure how long it has been since then. Legal observers are usually with civic groups. I know ACLU tends to send out legal observers, Civic Nebraska. I'm not exactly sure who this group is with. They did tell me earlier, and I know it's not one of those two. I just cannot remember the name of the group off the top of my head here. Basically what they do is they record and kind of give that footage back to the civic groups. I know at least with the ACLU and Civic Nebraska, they have lawyers who can kind of look at that footage and determine whether or not they think First Amendment rights were violated, the right to assemble, the right to protest, the right to free speech. So that is the legal observers and what they are doing. Laura, you keep asking me every time. They're saying all cops are the B word. So, again, try not to cuss, but.
You hear me?
No, it's okay, Lori. I understand. I just have certain guidelines I have to go by. I can't curse even if others on this are cursing. So I'm trying to, I guess, do my best to describe what I'm hearing without violating any of the rules that I have to abide by. But you're totally fine. No reason to apologize. I just thought it was kind of funny, honestly. This is the young lady that I did talk to earlier today, who was one of the 2 people who were arrested and charged last night. She is wearing the tape because the department is accusing her of tearing down the tape last night and kind of instigating, I guess, being the catalyst for the altercations that occurred between police and protesters last night. Again, I'm trying to choose my words carefully here. Now, she did tell me that she was dragged on the sidewalk, that this gentleman is coming up and shaking OPD's hands. He is crossing the line that officers created, which protesters have been told to stay behind.
So that means we can come up on the fucking line too? Can I go fucking go line too? They got special treatment for people that look like them. They got special treatment for people that look like them.
Now this young lady just told me that she felt like she was traumatized.
Get your ass the fuck away from me! Get your motherfucking ass the fuck away from me! Come down here if you really care! Come down here! Come down here if you really care! Come down here if you really care! Because you don't! Because you don't! I don't want to talk to you.
This gentleman is saying that she asked if she would be treated as the same as the gentleman we saw a little bit earlier that came up the steps, crossed over the barrier. Police said protesters were not supposed to be crossing over and shook their hands. Police officers did not really seem to be reacting to that. So this officer is kind of responding to her question, would she be treated the same, by offering his hand to shake to her. She appears to have been very upset by that, though. Traumatized. She was arrested last night. She kind of described it, saying she was dragged on the sidewalk, that she was kind of ripped around a bit. Said she was traumatized and taunted kind of whenever she was in the jail being held on bond. She alleges that she made bond very early on and was still held for quite a while, which could have been due to processing. I know earlier this year we did see quite a few protesters who made bail that were kept for quite a long time because of computer systems being down at the jail. I'm not sure if that was the situation last night, but that has been a history with the jail here in Douglas County. Julie, this is not the young lady that I'm referring to. She actually has left the area. She was very upset and left the area.
He gave you permission to come down here and you still want to. You're a fool. You're a fool. You're fucking blind ass fool.
Sounds like one of the women in this crowd is addressing the black officer who is here, calling him house and then a racial slur.
Y'all do shit. Y'all do shit for us. I can't believe you even came. We're trying to tell him it's an emergency. I can't come.
She's saying that he should not have come. Should not have come out here tonight.
Go to sleep at night thinking about that. What y'all do every day? Trash. House nigga! Trash. You ain't for us. Not at all. You got it twisted. Not at all. You won't even come down here and acknowledge we're speaking. You won't even step in front of you. And the white man gave you permission. You can come down here if you want to. You can come down here if you want to. But they control you. They control you. I bet you get on your.
This woman is asking that this officer come down and have a conversation with her about some of the racial tensions that are behind this protest, behind many protests that we've been seeing this year.
you said a
You
coworker.
can't even condemn murdering a black man in the street. You can't even say shit. Fuck all the bullshit. Where's the footage? I don't even have to talk no more. Where's the fucking footage?
Y'all see it? Y'all see the fucking footage?
If it's full, release the footage.
Okay. Yeah, she is yelling a racial slur. I'm not going to make a judgment on that. I'll let you guys make your own judgments on that, how you decide about the situation. Just wanted to kind of give context for that, though, since this is a protest that does have a lot to do with racial tensions going on in the community and several communities in the United States. It looks like there's a drone up there, probably just patrolling the area, keeping an eye on things. They tend to bring those out quite a bit. Usually there's a helicopter out. I haven't seen any though tonight, surprisingly. Usually we see those out at these kind of events. Thanks, Patrick. I really do appreciate the encouragement, guys. It's cold out here, and it can be a bit emotionally draining to cover events like this, but I think it's important to cover events like this and let you guys know what's going on in the community here. Staying behind the tape. It looks like the protesters are staying behind the tape, or the tape that was here.
Wear your mask, bitches! Those were the kids.
Oh, those were the babies.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. 9:32.
9:32. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. Kevin, thank you for watching from Colorado. I always appreciate whenever other people and communities are interested in our community and what's going on. Seen a lot of issues like this, a lot of protests that are kind of spanning across different cities. I know in Colorado, there was the young man who died. I can't remember his name, forgive me, but I know there were some protests in Colorado.
Hey,
in
I
regards
just
to that
got word.
this
I
year.
just got word from the family that that Kenneth Jones' mom is still yet to see her dead son or her son's body, and the pigs are refusing to show it to her until it is time for burial. That's just another thing that they are withholding evidence to the community and to the family. Second, they said that he refused to get out of the car when his hands were up. He had a hurt leg from a car accident, and he could not move his leg without grabbing it with his hand. He grabbed his leg with his hand, and the pigs were scared enough to think that that was a threat for them, and that was enough to murder a brother and the community members. This is the bullshit that we're dealing with on a traffic stop.
Did you get your video together?
2.5 times more likely to get
Awesome.
pulled over in Omaha
Good,
than
that
white
helps.
people, and this traffic stop is in the death of a black man.
I'm losing energy like quick here all of a sudden, but trying.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
So what this gentleman was saying is that he got word from the mother of Kenneth Jones, who said that she has yet to see the body of her son, who was fatally shot on Thursday during a traffic stop. He also kind of gave some perspective on the traffic stop, like I said, kind of saying, you know, what they're saying is happening. I didn't quite catch all the details on what he had to say on that. Hopefully you guys did, though. Yeah, this gentleman has been wearing a suit throughout the protest, which is interesting. I know I've seen some on social media advocating that white allies kind of dress up a little bit more, thinking maybe it will garner some respect in these situations, but that's about as much context as I can give on that. That's about as far as I know. I have not talked to him yet. Maybe he just wanted to look really nice tonight. Yeah, so you guys are saying you see the We Buy Houses sign. I did spot that earlier. On the other side, it does say Kenneth Jones' name. So I think they're trying to get that point across to the officers and not to the people behind them. So I guess it kind of works for them. Let me know when you want to get started setting up and all in this. What time is it?
It's 36, so honestly, I'll probably just start now.
Okay.
And then did you want to do it from that corner or that corner right over there?
Let's do it like across, just in case we need to leave quickly.
Right.
Just from previous experience.
Sounds good. Yeah, and I think I'm going to
Yeah, okay, so if you want to get started up and then like, you can text me, I can see like text on this and things, and I'll just end this and head over there and get ready. Or do you need help, I guess I should ask? Do you need help getting equipment or anything? Okay, okay. On the other side of the We Buy Houses sign is Kenneth Jones' name. That's the 35-year-old man who was fatally shot on Thursday. Curious, they just kind of decorated the front side of that sign and not the back. Yep, Kenneth Jones again is that gentleman's name. He was 35 years old. I believe was the passenger, from my knowledge, during a traffic stop whenever he was fatally shot. We have kind of more information on that at 3newsnow.com if you kind of want to read some of the background information on that and the press release that Omaha Police Department sent out kind of giving their side of the story. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Car crash and one of my patients dies, I go to jail. And I call it car crash and they shoot everyone. They get a bonus.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is what we're mostly on.
I don't know what.
Yeah, Brittany, I'm not sure. I know I've seen some, like I said, social media posts encouraging like allies to wear more, I guess, like if you will, like traditional, nicer clothes. Maybe just kind of like reminding officers, I guess, that they are citizens in the community. I'm not really quite sure what they're trying to get at, but to each their own. I don't know if you guys heard me talking to my partner here. We're going to be going live in our 10 o'clock show here, so if you guys want to tune into that, if you're in Omaha, if not in Omaha, you can go on our website and watch that, but I will be having to leave this live stream pretty soon. Lenny, I see you're saying that it is one-sided. I'm trying to do my best to report just factually what's going on. There is one side that is talking more, though, and that really cannot be helped from my perspective. I can only kind of repeat what they are saying. I have been trying to repeat when officers are, talking back to them and having conversations or attempting to have conversations.
Oh my God. They were like in that circle thing, and did you like pop up workout out there too? And so I was like talking to this girl with me.
Hey, why aren't you guys filming? Y'all need to be filming. They beat you up. You don't got the angle. Y'all need to be filming the police.
This gentleman is saying that people out here need to be filming. So cold out here. That they need to be filming, kind of keeping a documentation, their own documentation. Protesters need to be keeping documentation on what is going on, as the officers should be keeping documentation of what is going on through their body camera footage. Oh, okay. Thanks, Kevin. Just wanted to make sure. I like I said, I'm trying my best, trying to be very careful with my wording here, trying to give as much of both sides as I can. When they're protesting, there was a 35-year-old black man here in Omaha named Kenneth Jones who was fatally shot during a traffic stop. 2 OPD officers have been put on paid leave because of that while an investigation is happening. These protesters are requesting that the body cam footage that they were wearing during the incident be released for the community to decide whether or not these officers are I guess guilty of malpractice, if you will, guilty of brutality. I guess if they acted correctly in the situation.
Kenneth Jones! Kenneth Jones! Kenneth Jones! Kenneth Jones! Say his name! Kenneth Jones! Say his name! Kenneth Jones! Say his name! Say his name! Say his white brother's name for real! Say his name! Say his name!
This woman, once again, is kind of talking specifically to the black officer who is here, kind of criticizing him for, I guess, his role on this debate, if you will, saying that she wants him to say the name of the man who was shot on Thursday. Sherry, sorry. She is yelling at the officer who is a black officer, criticizing him for his role on this, saying that she doesn't want him to quit his job but change his tactics. She wants him to say the name of Kenneth Jones, the man who was shot on Thursday. She's very upset. Oh, looks like I may need to be moving down this way. Might have been a little... Okay. What happened?
This man said, "Back the blue."
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't go over well, did it?
No, obviously. This is an angry mob.
Yeah. So I just asked someone in the crowd kind of what this bit of commotion was. Again, sorry, I'm super tired, guys. Trying to be careful with my words here. And they said that there was a man who yelled, "Back the blue." It seems like part of the crowd has split off from the original crowd and is having a confrontation with that man. Trying to decide where I want to go at this moment. It looks like my partner may be getting some footage of this, so. Again, sometimes with these situations you don't want to get too close, but you do want to kind of get some perspective on what's going on. All right, we'll just go. Right. I'm gonna stay a little bit far back. And we'll see. So I'm walking to where this crowd has split off a little bit. I asked someone in the crowd what happened. He said there was someone that came up and said, "Back the blue," and obviously with this crowd that was not taken very well. So there was a bit of at least a verbal altercation that occurred. These people are running down the alley. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on the sidewalk. Trying to keep myself safe as well, guys, just so I can kind of keep you guys informed. And all right, seems to be a little bit over. Oh, okay, a little messed up there. I'm trying to be safe, guys, to the best of my abilities. I do have a partner who's kind of across the street over here that we can kind of partner up if need be. I did cover some of the protests over the summer, so I do have a little bit of experience with, you know, how when to get closer and when not to. But I may be leaving you here. Like I said, we'll be live in our 10 o'clock show if you guys want to tune into that. Thanks for sticking with me. And I'll try to keep you up to date. I'll maybe keep updating on Twitter depending on how the night goes. If you guys want to follow me on there, follow 3 News Now. Omaha on Twitter will be sharing updates on this protest as we go. But thank you for sticking with us and have a good night.